everybody, welcome to Fishing in White House Jamaica Fisherman Tale. I'm your host Moya Campbell. So as you know, it is the lobster close season in Jamaica, and what this means is that the season for lobster catching has closed from April 1st to June 31st, 2024. And it means that no eating establishment, no fishermen, no restaurant should have in their care any lobster parts or byproducts. For the fishers, they would have to adhere to the 3 months close season for lobster. Now, on the other side, there's another story to this. They would have to adjust during the period. So how is it that they're going to adjust? What happened is that they would consider going to the deep. Now, going to the deep means that they would go further into the ocean to catch their fish. They would be fishing on 80 fathom of water, 120 fathom of water, 150 fathom of water. So that is where they would have to go to catch their fish. Alright, so in order to supplement their cost and their overhead expense in fishing. So let me explain to you how they go about preparing based on research conducted earlier on today. So within White House, Westmoreland, the fishers generally prepare for deep fishing by ensuring that they have 2 3-feet pot, 4 ball of rope, hot rope that is, 60 pound of herring for bait. So these are some of the things that they would take with them for fishing in the deep. 2 walkers to mark the pot set, and 6 buoy. The buoy is a flotation device. Alright, and gasoline, at least 3 big drum and 2 gallon for a total of 5 days fishing excursion. How they use the gasoline is totally dependent on their fishing activity, how rigorous the activities are, and the requirement that is needed to produce a certain yield. So it is totally dependent on how they use their gas. Now, as I mentioned before, they would be fishing in 80 fathom feet of water, 20 fathom feet of water, and 150 feet of water. And they generally fish for silkfish, snapper. Now, a fisherman had indicated to me earlier today that going for certain fish, such as the silkfish, they generally eat a lot of bonita. They like the bonita and they like the herring. So these are the ideal bait that they would generally go for. Now, I had asked the person, what's the cost for the herring? They had said to me, it's $300 per pound, depending on where you are actually seeking the bait. The price varies, but $300 is the current price. The bonita, $500 per pound. So those are some of the expenses. Alright, so I was told also that depending on the weather condition, the fishers I'm referring to, they would make a decision when they will go to deep sea fishing. Generally, they would spend at least 5 days max to catch their silkfish. Now, as mentioned earlier, research was conducted. So that's the reason why I'm able to relate this message to you guys. So let me say, they said to me, Miss Campbell, we would prefer to go when the sea is calm. We would prefer to go when it's calm for deep sea fishing, no breeze, no rain. And I had asked, why is it that you guys prefer to go when it's calm, no breeze, no rain? A gentleman had explained to me, Miss Campbell, this is when we go out there and the rain fall, I pay a fog. It's foggy. So they're unable to see, they're unable to navigate in some instances. So they would prefer to go when the weather condition is best suited for this type of fishing. So once you're going out, you must ensure that the weather condition is ideal for deep sea fishing. Alright, so generally it depends on how they're going to fish. Alright, so let me explain to you how you go about setting your pot set within the deep for deep sea fishing. So the fisher had explained to me that firstly we are going to take the traps, the pots from the shallow, and then we are going to take them to the deep. So that's the region that they wish to fish from. Now in the deep you cannot anchor, so you cannot use your anchor within the deep. You have to anchor in the shallow. So let me explain to you guys. This is what the fisherman said to me earlier today. We would have to take the pot sets to the deep, and we have to sound the bottom using a line to sound the bottom in order for us to understand how many fathom we're setting the pot set on. You have to bait them and you have to set them there, and you have to wait until the fish bite, right? So they had explained to me that they will go into the trap because those fish are further out, so it's not like they're always accustomed to bait, so they will gradually gravitate to the traps. So they will go. So once that trap is set, they would leave the deep and they would go to the shallow. When they go back to the shallow, they would actually go to a different area and fish, whether they're using the line, and kill time until they're ready to go back and retrieve the pot sets to catch, to remove their catch. So it's a technique, and it requires time, energy and effort as well as cost. So during the close season, this is what most of the fishers are doing within White House Fishing Village in Westmoreland in order to sustain themselves during such a period. Earlier I had asked the gentleman, is it difficult? He said to me, it's not really difficult, it's something that they have to do, and it is mandatory for them to survive. So they will take the risk of doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm saying this to say, guys, if you have to go to the deep, ensure that you have ample fuel to navigate the vessel, ensure that everybody is safe, and do your best. And for those of you who wish to get into the business of fishing, you must understand what it is that you should be doing in order for you to achieve results. How can you supplement an income if there's a closed season period for certain aquatic creatures? So you have to think about that. So it's not just getting into the business, but having an understanding of how the business works and how you can move forward as a fisher or as a stakeholder in the business. So you would have to plan, strategize, and think ahead. And it's always good to manage your business properly so that you can get the utmost from your business, and you would have to rely on persons' knowledge and experience to assist you in navigating the fisheries water, because no man is an island, no man stands alone. Remember, when you go fishing, you have a crew. So the crew success rate is totally dependent on each and every one of the fishers aboard. Even though some fishermen have their own pod set, but they have a responsibility for each person going out there. So I'm saying this to say that regardless of going to the deep, you have to take care of each other on the vessel. And I wish you guys all the best in your fishing. Stay safe, come back on land, and you have your family to prepare for, and you have persons here who are depending on you to catch that fish to sustain their livelihood. And we understand what you're doing, and we acknowledge the efforts that you guys take. All the best fishing, and stay